Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the best loadouts in the finals that you can use as a solo. So if you're solo queuing and you're not using voice chat and you're just, getting random teammates who don't really know what rank they're going to be in, these are going to be the best loadouts for you. So if you're in a team and you're like trio queuing and all that kind of stuff, or if you're using voice chat, then this isn't really going to be for you, but you might still get something out of it. So I'm gonna do one for medium and one for light, and I'll probably do one for heavy as well, but we're gonna start off with the medium. Put the healing beam on. The reason for that is because no matter what teammates you get, you're always going to be able to heal your teammates, right? They're always gonna get low, you're always going to be able to heal them. Dematerializer is okay, you can use it creatively. Guardian turret just really simply isn't that good. No matter what teammates you get, no matter if you've got 2 lights or 2 heavies or anything in between, healing beam is always going to be extremely powerful. Just being able to instantly give teammates health is very valuable. So that's definitely the best specialization for the medium. Now for the weapon, I think this would just depend on preference, but also you can pick whatever your teammates don't have. So for example, if you've got a heavy using like a Lewis gun and then you've got a medium using the FCAR, those are both going to be doing lots of chip damage. So what you might want to do is use something that uses burst damage. So the Model 1887 would pack quite a punch, or the revolver would also pack quite a punch, or you could go with the CL40, but I would kind of stay away from that. But I think the Model 1887 would probably be quite good. And then on the other hand, if you've got a heavy that's using, I don't know, the KS23, the new slug shotgun, and then maybe a light that's using the double barrel shotgun, then you would want something that does chip damage and also has some range. So then you would go with the AKM, the FAMAS, or the FCAR, or something like that. So, like, you can just pick your preference, which is completely fine. But if you really want to play the best you can as a solo, you would want to try and kind of counter the weaknesses of your teammates, right? So if they don't have much range, you're going to put a weapon on that has range. If they have lots of range, but maybe not so much damage, you're going to put on a weapon that does a bunch of damage, and so on. Then for the gadgets, zipline is always going to be very powerful. It's pretty easy to tell when someone places a zipline. The noise is very audible, and also there's a giant yellow line from point A to point B, right? So your teammates are probably going to be able to use that as well, and that's obviously going to help them out. Defibrillator, this is just a no-brainer. If you're playing medium, put the defibrillator on. If not, why are you playing medium? What's the point? Just always put the defibrillator on if you're playing medium. Being able to quickly get people up is going to be very valuable. Now, as your second slot, this is gonna kind of be up to you. Even, like, if you've got teammates that are using frag grenades and something like that, then that's gonna do lots of burst damage. So again, you can either, like, add onto that, you can try and stack the burst damage and also put on frag grenades, or you can go for some chip damage and use something like gas grenades, but that doesn't really apply to the gadget so much. I mean, APS turret is good, gas grenade, good, group grenade, pyro grenade is also fine, and then jump pad you can use if you want like super mobility, and then you can go with mines if you want, but I think they're just a little bit inconsistent, so I tend to stay away from those right now. But this is basically going to be what it looks like for the medium. So for the weapon, use whatever you're comfortable with, unless you're like comfortable with everything. And if you're comfortable with everything, then use whatever counters your teammates' weaknesses. For the specialization, healing beam is going to be best. Defibrillator is very good. And then either zipline or jump pad. And then this third slot is up to you. But for support, APS turret would probably be best. Just because it's very annoying to play against, really. So that is going to be it for the medium. Now onto the light. So there's going to be a lot of the same points, basically, right? So there's going to be some more choices here. I would go with the cloaking device because I think it's just really annoying to play against. I think it's most annoying for the enemies. If they know there's a light on the enemy team that's using the cloaking device, they're probably going to play a little bit more passively. They're not going to push into areas so much or so quickly. I would say they wouldn't be hasty. Whereas if you've got evasive dash or grappling hook, I think there's probably not going to be so much to worry about unless you're really good. So I would just go with cloaking device. You can go with evasive dash. This is also very good, but you have to like be very good to make this worthwhile. And grappling hook just simply isn't that fantastic, I think. So I would stick with cloaking device, but if you're good, you've got like excellent aim, or you're really good with a sword or something like that, then you can go with the evasive dash. Now the light, as a light, you want to assist your teammates by just taking out the enemy. So you want your teammates to kind of like start the fight, let them start the fight a little bit, and then you want to sneak up behind someone and just get picks from behind, or take the 1v1s. You can sometimes take the 1v1s, like if you stun someone from far away, if you stun a heavy from far away, and they're using a Lewis gun, you're going to be able to kill them real quick with the XP54, and they're simply just not going to hit their shots if you're far away, right? But if you're up close, then don't 1v1 the heavy. That's probably not going to turn out well for you. So as a light, they're going to help your team out. You're going to help your team out, rather, by just getting picks and just being super annoying. So for the weapon, you know, again, most of this is going to be preference this time, instead of kind of, with the medium there was like a set loadout because they're very supportive, but for the light there's going to be much more option. I like the XP54, LH1 is good if you can hit your shots, 93R is okay, V9S is okay, M11's very good, SH1900 still destroys enemies if you can hit your shots with it, but it is quite hard to hit shots. Sniper, still very good, sword can be super annoying, and throwing knives are very hard to aim, but I guess you can use them if you're very, very good. Now, stun gun. Put the stun gun on. If you're playing medium, you put the defibrillator on. If you're playing light, you put the stun gun on. It's by far their best gadget. And it's just like so good at negating cash outs, and also at preventing enemies from defibbing their teammates, which is always super annoying. And also it's just like an excellent offensive weapon as well. It's very, very powerful. And then we have the gateway as well. Now, as a solo, if you've got good game sense, one of the best things you can do as a light is when a vault is opening, open that vault, chuck a gateway on top of it, go run 70 meters away, and then throw this gateway at wherever the nearest cash out is, and you're going to be able to instantly teleport the vault from, like, wherever it spawns to the cash out, and you're just going to be able to start that cash out straight away. So if you've got teammates that maybe, you know, aren't focusing on the objective, or are maybe just in a fight that they don't need to be in, you can just go take the vault into the cash out completely on your own, because most of the time the enemies just simply aren't going to notice the gateway unless they're like at the vault. But sometimes you'll fight a little bit far away from the vault, and you can just go do your own thing, get the vault started, which is going to be beneficial to you because it's going to give you 2,000 cash, right? And then even if your teammates are dead or something, you can just circle back and rest them and then go fight at the cash out again, but you'll have 2,000 cash in the bank. So the gateway is extremely, like, it's so good as a solo. I've been playing light a lot, and the gateway's like just been really, really nice for me to have, because sometimes I'll get teammates that just don't have a whole lot of game sense, and the gateway basically just forces my teammates to go to the correct objective, or the objective that I think that we should be fighting at, which is like very, very valuable, especially if you know what you're doing. So I would definitely put this on as light, and then you've got a third slot here. And here, again, you can kind of just go with whatever you want. Glitch grenades are super annoying to play against. Gas grenade, goo grenade, pyro grenade, again, all of those are good. Sonar grenades are also very good. You can go with those if you want, and they are quite supportive. I just like my frag grenades, but you can also go with vanishing bomb or thermal vision if you don't want to get countered by other invisible lights. So I'd say this is going to be the best light loadout. You want to be focusing on those objectives to help your team out, because, you know, focusing the objectives is just going to be beneficial to your whole team, so that's supporting your team. Stun gun, just very, very good. XP54, just a very good all-round weapon. You can kind of pick whatever you want there, though. And a cloaking device is just super annoying to play against for the enemy team. And then I've got frag grenades on because I like them. And again, you want to play the light by just getting picks where you can, focusing the objective with the gateway, and, you know, denying defibrillators or denying cash out steals with your stun gun. And then you're going to actually be quite valuable as a light. And it's going to support your team because, you know, if an enemy can't defibrillate their teammate, then that's probably going to be an easy pick for your teammates as well. So yeah, and now we're going to go on to heavy. And the most supportive heavy for a solo is going to be probably charge and slam. Now, the reason for that is sometimes people will just mess with the goo gun. Like, if you're shooting goo in places, sometimes a teammate will just, like, set it on fire for no reason. It's happened to me a couple of times, so I would actually stay away from that. You can go with it if you want, but I haven't had the most luck with it in a lot of my games. You can go with the mesh shield and hope you've got teammates that know how to, like, stay behind you, because this thing is obviously super powerful if you've got a team, right? But again, we're talking about solo queuing here. And if your team doesn't really know how to shoot behind the shield, then this is just going to be completely useless. So I would just go with Charging Slam. I think it's going to be the safest option, and also it's still pretty good. Then for the weapon, I would go with the Lewis gun. I think it's probably just going to be the best heavy weapon right now. I don't like it. You can go with the Lewis gun or the M60. MGL32 is viable. Flamethrower is viable. SA-1216 is okay. KS-23 is very viable. And I would kind of stay away from the sledgehammer, because if there's a good light on the enemy team, they're just not going to get hit by that. But yeah, for the weapon, Lewis gun, it does a bunch of damage up close, does a bunch of damage far away. If you can hit your shots, it does have a pretty complicated recoil pattern, but if you learn that and you can hit your shots, it's gonna delete people real quick. Then RPG. So if you're playing medium, put the defibrillator on. If you're playing light, put the stun gun on. And if you're playing heavy, put the RPG on. It's just able to do a bunch of damage to someone extremely quickly, and also it's got very, very good destructive capabilities as well, which is always very, very powerful. Then you put the dome shield on, and that's just going to be very, very good for defending a certain location for a set amount of time, or until someone destroys it. But if someone's destroying it, then they're going to have to reload, and that's going to give you certain opportunities in a fight as well. But this is just a very, very supportive gadget for the heavy. If you're stealing a cash out, if you're trying to res someone, or so on, then this is just going to be very, very powerful to just pop down and then carry on with it, whatever you're doing. But this time, you're going to have a little bit more safety because of the dome shield. Then you can put the barricade on. I like the frag grenades, so I've kind of got frag grenades on every class right now, because I quite enjoy them. But for the heavy, barricades are very, very good, and they are extremely annoying to play against. If a heavy is shooting at you through a barricade, there's really not a whole lot you can do. I try and, like, lob frag grenades behind them. Like, you just have to flank, really. It's very, very hard to hit the top of a heavy, hit a heavy in the head when they're hiding behind a barricade, and chances are they're going to be more damaging. They're going to be doing more damage to you while you're trying to hit them, because you're not going to have a barricade, right? Unless you're also playing heavy. But this is going to be a very supportive heavy loadout, and probably the best for solo queuing. Charging Slam just gives you a nice little speed boost at the start, or whenever you use it, really. And also its destructive capabilities are really, really nice. So if you've got like a light or a medium on your team, and they don't have, you know, frag grenades or breach charges or anything, you're the one that's going to be able to charge into the room, which is going to be very, very valuable. And you do have the RPG as well to also do that, but that's mainly to do damage. Dome shield is just going to be useful in a variety of situations, and the barricades are going to be very, very good for when you need to, like, take a breather and regen some health, and you can just sit in the corner and stay behind this for extra safety, or for defending, or even for sometimes going on the offensive and placing these can be very, very strong. So this would probably be a very good heavy solo queuing loadout as well. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. What I would say is the best one's probably just the medium, but it kind of, like, when I play my medium more as a support medium. So I'm always healing teammates and I'm always defibrillating them, and I kind of tend to not do so much damage myself. So there's kind of two supports, right? There's the support where you, like, constantly back your teammates up and constantly heal them and all that kind of stuff. And that's how I like to play my medium. Or there's, like, the support where you play as light and you are annoying, like, you're so annoying for the enemy to play against, but that's also supporting your team, yeah? So there's kind of two types of support, and if you want to play with your team a little bit more and maybe put a little bit more faith in the fact that you might get good teammates, then I would stick with this medium loadout or something similar to this medium loadout with the healing beam and the defibrillator. And if you think that maybe you're going to have to, you know, do a little bit of solo carrying or something like that, then I would go with the light or a more offensive medium loadout, or like an offensive heavy loadout. Because the light's gateway especially is just very, very, very good for making sure your team is going to the right place with the right objective. At least I found in a variety of solo games. But yeah, there you go. Just kind of wanted to make a video on what I think was best for solo queuing and what I've had the best luck with personally, because I've played this game a lot now and I've played a lot of ranked. And solo queuing is quite rough, so I just wanted to make a kind of loadout for each of the classes for what I think would be good when you are solo queuing. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it for this video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell.